Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bushtracker Live, which is our daily dose of all things I'm a Celeb. I'm Vicky Newman, senior celebrity reporter for Mirror Online, and I'm joined by showbiz editor Mark Jeffries. So, if you're watching along, make sure you join in. Let me know who you want to win. Ask for any questions you've got. We'll try our best to answer them. So, it was a good show last night, wasn't it?
It was good, and I think a double eviction's always quite good as well. There's lots to talk about from the two leaving, but we had the pub as well, and I think you generally get good scenes in the pub. They're always so happy to be in there. We had some music. Yeah, I thought it was a really lively show, probably the best show this week for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And like you say, another shock double elimination. Jessica and Russell both went last night. I feel like we kind of called it yesterday. We kind of said these were in danger. So I think, we can claim expert status now, I think.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about here. But also, Russell, as we'd said, he hadn't really quite done enough since he'd gone in there. The late entries, they always struggle in terms of getting to the final stages. I was a little bit sad for Jess because as we saw in the pub last night, I thought she had a good show last night. She was singing away there, and I would have maybe preferred to see one of the other guys go, because obviously we've only got Giovanna left in there, sort of on her own now, the only female in there. So that's also a bit unusual at this stage with so many people left.
Yeah, it is, and like you say, yeah, G's the last girl in there now, and her husband Tom Fletcher posted something on Instagram about how she'd left behind a house full of boys and swapped them for a castle full of boys. So she just can't. She's always going to be outnumbered, it seems, no matter where she is.
Yeah, I guess that's also quite a good thing in terms of her coping. Some people maybe wouldn't like that kind of dynamic, being so outnumbered. But yeah, I think he's made a good point. She probably is pretty used to it at home, and I think she's doing really well. Yeah, I think she's doing really well. So I don't think it'll bother her at all being the only one left in there.
No, definitely not. And yeah, like you say, there was the big pub scene last night, which is always a good night on the show, isn't it? And it was the Castle Arms this time. Oh no, the Castle Inn, sorry, the Castle Inn. And obviously the one, the trip to the pub, and then the separately won the pie and chips, which we were all very excited about. But Jessica said she didn't even know she liked pie. Has she never tried pie?
I mean, some of the guys were going a bit over the board, weren't they? They were sort of, they looked so excited. I thought that one of the things it really highlighted for me was I thought it was a good show for Jordan. He's been very quiet this week. He's gone from favourite to sort of drifting out, and he had a good. We had him drinking the Guinness, looking very excited. We had him doing the very bad rendition of "I Will Survive," but very funny as well. So I thought it was a really good show for him. And also Mo, I was quite surprised. He got a bit rowdy at the end. Was joking away about. That was a good. I thought it was interesting. I don't know who you sort of thought had a good night or were interested to see drinking in the boozer.
Yeah, I think Mo really came out his shell because they've all said that he's quite shy, really, and you do see that a bit. He's a lot quieter than some of the others, but he just overcame him last night. I don't know whether it was a couple of drinks or a full belly. I don't know, but he was like up doing karaoke with Shane and just living his best life, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think in some ways it was a shame we haven't seen more of that from Mo. I think when it started, of all the lineup, he was one where I really wanted to see, what is he really like? We just really see him on a running track. And last night, if we'd have seen days and days of that and him joking around a bit more, I think he'd be right in contention to be king of the castle. But that sort of stuff has been really few and far between. So hopefully in the next couple of days, if he manages to survive, we'll see a bit more of it.
Yeah, Louise is saying there she wants Jordan to win. I have to say as well, this Radio 1 t-shirt is purely coincidental. I am not trying to sway the vote at all here. It's just what I happened to put on this morning.
Well, I think Yes got a very good chance again now. It's pretty much neck and neck. He's I think 6-4, Giovanna 7-4. If you don't know you're betting, it basically means it's very close between those two. And they're saying really, they think it's probably only those two that can win. Vernon's got an outside chance. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. It might come down to how well they do in the next couple of days. As I say, I thought Jordan had a good edit last night. Giovanna didn't do quite as much, but there's obviously still a lot of time left. They're all going to be involved in at least a couple of trials as well. So it could be quite tight, I think, at the top between those two.
Yeah, definitely. Charlotte there is saying that she wishes Jess hadn't gone home last night. But yeah, there's only 6 of them left now. So what's going to happen tonight? Do you think another 2 are going to go or just 1?
We haven't been told officially from ITV. Obviously, yesterday I got it wrong. I said it was a single and ended up being a double. I think it might be a double eviction tonight. Generally, the show ends with 3 people on the last day, and they all do a trial each, individual trial, and then we get the cyclone the day before that. So normally you get 4 in the cyclone. There's 6 in there at the moment, as you say. So if I was betting, I'd say there'll probably be a double eviction tonight to leave 4 to do the cyclone tomorrow. But we won't know for probably a few hours yet. I imagine it will get confirmed sort of late afternoon. But I think they're going to need to have a double eviction somewhere because they don't want to have too many people there right at the end.
Yeah.
If it was a double eviction, who would you think might be the next to go? Do you think?
I think if there's another 2 tonight, I would think that it would be Mo and AJ who'll go. I just feel like the others have been much bigger personalities the whole time. And yeah, I just kind of can't see them outliving the others really in the show. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to see. I mean, people have been calling, particularly on social media, for AJ to leave for days. So I'm quite surprised he's got this far. But then he probably has got some following from Strictly. You know, it's a huge show on BBC One. Millions of fans watch that, and so perhaps some of those people are carrying over and voting for him on this. I think, yeah, I'd have to agree. It's looking most likely like AJMO. But I think if it is a double eviction tonight, if we're going to get any shocks now, maybe it would be tonight. You know, Shane seems to have mixed reviews. Maybe he could be at risk. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of fairly similar male sort of characters in there, and most people probably use their 5 votes on the app. They can't vote for all of them, and so that maybe might leave one of them susceptible to be going out. I don't think we're going to see Giovanna or Jordan going anywhere. I feel like they're safe to be in the final, but yeah, I think if you were betting, it would be Mo and AJ.
Yeah, Gino's predicting that he thinks there'll be 1 go tonight and 2 go tomorrow. And he also said there earlier that he feels like the show's gone really quick this year, and has it been shorter? I think it is a couple of days shorter because does it usually end on a Sunday and not on the Friday if they brought the final forward a couple of days this time?
Yeah, so yeah, that's exactly right. It would normally end on Sunday night, Monday morning actually in Australia, and I think that was just to do with maybe the logistics. They've had to work really hard to get the show on at all because of COVID and everything. So they've done a good job, and I also think maybe they wanted to end it on perhaps they thought a Friday night was a good way to go out this time. And so they've just done it a bit earlier. And as we know, what we've talked about before, they've done those highlight shows as well. So probably in total, they've had to work. They've done quite a few days less work, and it's managed to get it done. And it'll be great. It's great, really, that they've just managed to get the show on at all, I think.
Yeah, well, Ant and Dec joked last night that they were working about 20 minutes a day, but obviously, as we know, it's a lot longer. It's a very grueling schedule, isn't it? Because after the show that we watch live, obviously they go in at the very end and they announce who's doing the trial usually, and then they film the trial after that. And then obviously they've got to be there really like a lot earlier the next day to sort the script and everything. So it's a really long day. It's a lot of work for everyone involved in making the show and actually putting it on air, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite relentless, really. As you say, the contestants were warned beforehand to sort of get used to their sleep patterns and lie in and get used to staying up late because they're not getting dinner until about midnight. And as you say, they do the trial after the show. So Ant and Dec are probably on site till well gone past midnight, and then like you say, they have to come in the next day and they're trying to watch lots of footage and obviously trying to write those funny links, that they make it look very easy, but there's lots of back and forth in that, and they have to work with the writing team and make everything just right. So yes, it's quite a relentless sort of 3-week stint for them, and I always think, for me personally, this is my favorite show of Ant and Dec. I think they do it so well. I think it's brilliant. Yeah,
I agree. I love them. They just make us laugh so much, just with the stupid daft jokes are just perfectly my sense of humour. But yeah, we've mentioned briefly the celebrity cyclone. Obviously, that's a huge part of the show that people really look forward to every year. We can see there that the preparations are well underway. They're building the assault course, but there's rumours that it's going to be harder than ever this year because the water could be as cold as like 7 degrees. I just don't know how they'll cope with that because it's hard anyway. Never mind that, isn't it?
Yeah, I did a bit of research this morning. I was looking it up. They normally use 500 litres of slime as well when they're throwing it down, and they also they normally use up to about 100 crew on it because you always get all those like balls being thrown in the giant balls and stuff. And so I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't think they've got quite as many crew on site as normal. Yeah. So I wonder if it might look a bit different to how we're used to seeing it. I think it's normally a natural sort of hill. That looks like it's sort of like a giant treadmill, doesn't it, in the pictures we've seen? So I think it's going to be a different kind of cyclone, but it's still very exciting. It's the one they all want to do. Shane Ritchie, before he went in, he wasn't talking about wanting to win. He was talking about his kids just want him to do the cyclone. So he's really close now. So hopefully for him, he's going to get there and be able to do it, and his kids will be really excited.
Yeah, it's the one thing everybody really wants to do. And I think if you work behind the scenes on the show, that must be the best day at work you're going to have, just being paid to stand there and chuck like giant inflatable balls at loads of celebrities' heads. I'd quite enjoy that, I think.
We occasionally get to do trials in Australia. And we always ask, is there any way we can get involved in the cyclone? You know, everyone do it. Holly Willoughby, when she went over that one year she stood in, she did it for ITV too. I mean, it's the one that if they ever could do a theme park sort of I'm a Celebrity, it's the one thing that everyone would love to do, isn't it? It just looks great fun, or you know, it looks brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. But what doesn't look fun, or well, it's fun for us, is the trial tonight. It's called Game of Groans, and it's going to be Mo and AJ taking it on together. Let's have a little look at the preview.
Okay. Sitting comfortably?
Yeah, it's nice to have a backrest.
Nice. Mo, you look on edge. You don't look like you're relaxed.
No, I'm not relaxed.
I have to say, a nervous Mo is a very funny Mo, isn't it? It is.
I just saw you conferring there. Have you got a strategy about how you're going to approach this?
Yes, we do. I'm gonna.
It's just a leaf.
I'm gonna have a look at the bottom half. He's gonna have a look. I'm gonna go 1 to 8 try, remember. He's just going 9 to 16. Top and bottom.
This is gonna be brilliant.
Okay.
Right, okay, let's get on with it.
It's time for round 1. In this round, we're going to ask you to identify the symbols behind 4 of the shields. So here we go. Let's spin the thrones and reveal the shields.
I mean, Mo literally screaming because a leaf fell on him.
What is he going to be like when it all? Because there's clearly going to be loads of stuff poured on top of them in the next 10 minutes. What is going to be like when the rest of the stuff comes? I think Ant summed up there. I think it's going to be really good, this one, and really funny to watch, which is great because that's the main thing we want in trial, is to have a good laugh at them, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You want people to be scared, to be screaming. Like, everybody remembers those famous moments, don't they? Like Paul Burrell putting his hand in the hole and screaming, and things like that just sort of stick out and stay with you, don't they? And it still makes you laugh when you think about it years later.
That's right. I mean, it depends when the trial is shown, how early in the program, but it could be a real winner for Mo. It looks like he's going to be very funny, and if it's right at the start of the show and the voting's still open, perhaps he's going to get some votes because people are going to think, oh, it'll be great to see him do, a couple more trials. So maybe it might be a vote winner, even if he doesn't do well in the trial. It might be good for him sort of long term to stay in camp.
Yeah, might be a bit tactical as well at this stage. Obviously, they're deciding who does the trials, so maybe they're thinking, well, get a few votes in. You don't know, they might think like that.
Yeah, I think what you notice towards the end, people do get a bit more tactical, and they are all putting their hand up and saying, I want to do the trial. Or, we saw with Vernon only sort of managed to just about get to do the last trial because they were all sort of offering. AJ particularly was really keen, so I wasn't that surprised to see that he's doing this one.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. If Ant and Dec are laughing that much, it's going to be really fun to watch, isn't it? I can't wait. But yeah, so the show is back at 9 o'clock tonight on ITV. So make sure you tune in to see what happens. And you can sign up to our newsletter as well to get all the latest news in your inbox every morning. And we'll be back every day this week to do another one of these videos and have a little chat about the show. So come back again. Thanks for watching.